I
You're older,
was.
so you can
What?
answer
Oh,
first.
thanks. Oldest goes first. Okay. I think I was a teenager. To be honest, my memory is generally quite hazy about everything in life, so I don't have like specific times. But I do remember it must have been about 13, 14 when I guess I started thinking about girls and boys. It wasn't like I started thinking about boys and then about girls, or I started thinking about girls and then about boys. Can't pinpoint a time, but I just found them attractive, like both of them.
Yeah.
Actually, the film Labyrinth, if you've seen Labyrinth, was a key sort of thing for me, because I found both David Bowie really attractive and Jennifer Connelly, which is okay, even though she was a child, because I was also a child. So yeah, I guess it was teenage sort of time. I don't remember thinking about girls that much earlier than that. So yeah.
I was about the same. So a little bit younger, I was probably like 11, 12, because I just started secondary school, and I had a massive crush on like one of my friends. I went to an all-girls school.
Oh, so did I,
Yeah. And yeah, it's kind of the same, like it all just came at the same time. It wasn't like I'm thinking about boys like this, I'm thinking about girls like this. It was all just, I like people. And film for me was Moulin Rouge. I was attracted to both, what's her name?
Nicole
Kidman and Ewan McGregor. So that was my coming out story.
So like, when did you guys come out to people in your life? Like parents, friends, other family?
I was the same age, so
okay.
Because I got a girlfriend like pretty soon after I came out to like one of my friends, because I found out she was bi before I told anyone about me. So we came out to our friends and we were dating, and we came out to my parents, and my parents took it really well. My friends didn't.
Oh really?
Yeah, there was, I mean, how long ago was it? I guess they were less like,
It's not that long ago,
socially aware. Yeah.
You know, because you're like a fair bit younger than me, so it's only like what, 7, 8 years ago?
Yeah. But yeah, we told them, and it was like a whole kind of ceremony was called the next day with my friendship group, like by them. And then I remember one of the girls, the one who was like the leader of the pack, I guess, she wrote a speech, and she ceremoniously gave me back a friendship necklace I gave her.
She wrote a speech?
She wrote a speech, yeah. And I just remember being like, okay then.
This is age like 12.
This is age 12,
so drama.
Yeah, so drama. So I had a bad like couple years, struggled a lot with friends and stuff. But then it just got easier to come out, and now I just come out to bloody everyone. So.
Yeah, no, I say like that I realised I was bi teenager because it must have been then, because I remember coming out to my mum first of all, and it wasn't like a big deal for me. I would just I remember it as a passing comment, and I just thought I'd say it, like I said, my memory's not great, but it may have been within a conversation we were having about general like growing up and sex, and I asked like my mum some personal questions that I don't think she answered honestly, to be perfectly honest, but I remember saying to my mum, I'm bisexual, and she was a bit taken aback, and I don't remember whether she said it at the time or whether she said it after, but she definitely said that, it's just a phase. And I was like, oh okay. So that was, I don't think she said it at the time, but she definitely said it afterwards. But then my not my current one, but the one my relationship before my current relationship was a 3-year relationship with a woman. So she kind of had to accept at that point that it wasn't just a phase. So she may have said it like at that point in the relationship. She was like, oh yeah, at 14 I just dismissed it as a phase and I thought you'd grow out of it. So, but I don't really remember coming out to my friends as such. I've had a lot more experiences with men than girls. But really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, sexually, not relationship-wise.
Oh, right,
Relationship-wise, I've dated more girls.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, I can't remember. I remember having a crush on someone at school, but she was a fair bit, like I was like 17, she was like 15, so I don't really tell anyone about that. But I haven't like now, but not at the time. But my first sexual experience with women was like really drunken, as can be. But I never really felt the need to come out to anyone because my group of friends was pretty liberal. Like it was not a big deal. No one would ever care about. And at the time I was having like sexual experiences, whatever. We were older than like you were, so no one really
it wasn't really a big deal.
Like no one really cared. So not in a bad way, just in like it.
That's how it is now. Like most of my friends now, I think we all just like congregate together, like the LGBT people. So everyone is already like gay or bi or whatever. So coming out isn't like that big of a deal anymore because it's a lot easier to find like-minded people.
I don't like my
especially at uni.
Oh yeah. Like none of my friends apart from my current partner are what you would classify originally as straight. Like no one, like no one is.
Oh yeah, so, yeah. Like the straightest person.
No, it's weird. He's not like he would call himself straight, but like he's not like he's quite camp. That's a different thing. But and he doesn't go out anywhere apart from the village. So he's like he has no problem with it. But he's tried it in the past and it's just not for him. So
well, you have to try to know. So you know. So have you guys like sort of dealt with any issues in the build up coming out before or like afterwards as well, or not really?
I did when I was younger. So that was kind of when like I started getting like bad mental health problems. Started like being really depressed, really socially anxious. Because I'd lost like all of my friends because of like my identity and stuff. So it took me a good few years to kind of start having better relationships with people. But then probably about the first year of sixth form, I kind of like found some LGBT friends and that was all fine. And then just now it's just generally like if I meet someone on a night out and they're a guy and they're asking questions and they start getting weird and like really kind of like I don't know, like sexual about it.
Well, you mean like you get guys who find it like a turn on to say that you're bi and then they just think that all you want is to have a threesome with another girl.
That's
really
just
we've sort of we've sort of covered it, I guess. I haven't really found any sort of issues. I've suffered with like mental health problems in the past too, but I don't think it has particular connection with being bi or anything like that. I do find that even people in the LGBT community, especially people who call themselves gay, dismiss bisexuality as an actual thing, which obviously I think most bisexual people have encountered. Biracial, obviously, but like they just say that I have. Even she's only half joking, even my ex is like, everybody's gay. She just thinks everybody is gay. She's like, there's no in between, but another friend of mine, he's gay and she's like, no, you're either gay or straight, there's no bi. Which is quite irritating because like we have, like LGBT spaces, but then they become dominated by people who could call themselves a lesbian or call themselves gay and you feel sort of excluded from both straight spaces and LGBT spaces.
Don't really feel like you belong anywhere.
I feel that probably is true for trans people as well, but obviously I can't speak from personal experience. But so that would be the main issue that I've encountered, but I haven't really encountered any prejudice about it. I mean, I have more prejudice with the poly thing, to be honest. A lot more. So
just like general life outside of my sexuality.
Like, have you also experienced like any sort of heteronormativity, like things you say that can sort of like piss you off, and, like assume that you're straight, or?
I think because I'm quite feminine as well. Were you just gonna say
I was just occurred to me when you said that.
Like even just like trying to get into a club in the village, if it's not a regular space or I'm not with any gay guys, they're like they take one look at me and they're like, you're not LGBT. Well, that's the last woman I had sex with.
It's because they assume that you're there to like just be on a hen party or something.
Which I get, because that is incredibly annoying.
Yeah, it really is. But that's annoying anywhere you go because I hate hen parties.
But just anyway, like navigating like the dating scene as well, because I mostly dated women when I was younger, because I kind of thought I was like, I didn't know that I could really be bisexual, so I was just like dating girls. Then I started dating guys again, so recently I've been like dating more guys.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, like navigating straight men and coming out to them and dealing with them and just, yeah, I think that's just normal for like, even if you're a straight woman, but I think it is kind of more, I don't know, worse if you're bi, because there's a lot more kind of assumptions about you, like you're a slut, you're this or that.
You get the sort of like in relationships sometimes, or with people that you're twice as likely to cheat because you're attracted to twice as many people, which is not how it works.
Yeah.
You're just attracted to people, and that could mean you're attracted to like 1% of the population or 50 because you're just how much just of what you find attractive, or like you know.
Sometimes I feel bad for like actually fulfilling the bisexual stereotype, because I am that. Like I am bully, I am like a bit, you know, like promiscuous. But also I'm not gonna kind of like not accept myself for who I am in the same way.
Yeah.
You know,
You're so much as
oh yeah. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. Don't worry, I'm not going to eat this now. I'm going to put it.
If you want to.
No, because it's going to be hard to talk. I'm going to put it here, and then everything will be fine. Oh, I've got to ask for ketchup. Definitely. I'm sure I was going to say something, and I forgot what it was. Something. Oh yeah. Another thing. People call me greedy all the time.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah.
And like she's doubly hard with the poly. Like she's like. I'm going to say I hope it was filming.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Like, I think just like decided to take a photo and that's it.
just capture. Are we filming again now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely very much related to like how the female body and the female sexuality and female independence and stuff. And also I think the bisexuality as well, like especially like even if you're gay as well and you come out and you're a woman, it's very kind of everyone is expected to have their sexuality centered around men in a way. So like even gay men, people are upset that you're attracted to men, and then when you're attracted to women, they're upset that you're not attracted to men. So when I was like in a monogamous relationship with a girl, and guys would kind of like want to get in on it, they'd be like, oh, we can turn you, like we're upset that you're not attracted to men.
Sort of like male entitlement, like I think that was
Yeah.
male gaze on your
The
sexuality.
male gaze and the male gaze.
You sort of get that in the stereotype of like a lesbian relationship, but it's because like sexuality has to center on a male, that like when you're in a lesbian relationship, that people don't have sex, like, or they have very little sex, which might be true for some people, which might work for some people, but that's not true for everyone. That's a stereotype that you get because there's no male involved, so obviously they're just sitting around eating vegan cheese and stroking cats, which again is probably true for some people.
I do a lot of that.
Oh my god, on holiday I had a bowl, it was in a restaurant and a cat jumped onto my lap and I ate my whole pasta with a cat on my lap. Oh my god. Anyway, the owner originally was like, get down, I was like, no. So yeah. Anyway, side note.
Like, what does your identity mean to you?
I find my identity quite important. I do understand why some people like don't like labels, they don't like to kind of put themselves in boxes, but I find it quite liberating in a way. And it definitely makes it easier to navigate spaces where people have like multiple different identities, like LGBT spaces, and also like to connect with like other bisexual women and like other poly women. But yeah, so yeah, it's quite important to me.
I guess I don't think, I mean I must think about it a lot, but I don't think about it like a crazy amount, but it sounds really bad, but I do like people to know that I'm bi. Like it's a bit and I don't know whether that's just making myself sort of grandiose and self-important, but I don't know. I don't want to be put in a straight box. Is that? I know that sounds like. Again, like it just sounds a bit big-headed. Like I don't want to be like everybody else, but I don't want to be like everybody else. But that's not why I'm bi. Like sort of thing. Like I'm bi anyway. But But yeah, no, I think it's important to me. And again, the label thing though is, I would call myself bi because it's easy, but then you've got people who call themselves pan.
Yeah, I used to like identify as pan, but it's so difficult to like explain
to people. Yeah, so it's easy to say
that in a way. They're like, oh, it's not a real thing.
Yeah,
well, it's
because
pan. There's like, because a bisexual label assumes two genders, which obviously there isn't as a spectrum, and so that's why it's a problematic label, and that's why I would say that labels are sometimes a bit of an issue. And there is no reason to label necessarily. It just makes things easier for people. But do you know what? Why you don't really need to. It's just like, I'm attracted to people. That's fine. Sort of thing. Like, so yeah, I guess it is important. Like, it's not. I don't think I have many conversations where it's something to do with that vaguely at least comes up. Sure. Maybe not job interviews, but but yeah. So I think it is quite an important part. Of
I have a friend who she identifies as a lesbian, and she's only, I think when she was younger she like had sex and dated men, but she's gay. But she's currently in a long-term relationship that is sexual and romantic. How do you say that word? Romantic. With a guy. But it's still important for her to identify as a lesbian.
Right, okay.
I think it's
so that's quite,
Rosie.
So that's quite interesting because at the same time, I guess it kind of is pushing forward this view that like lesbians can be turned, blah blah blah. But also, if it's kind of the identity that speaks most truly for her, and it's like 99% of her attraction to people is to women, then I think it's quite valid. But that's just something interesting.
Yeah, well, I know people who identify as lesbians and wouldn't always identify as lesbians, but they still sometimes, usually drunkenly, have sex with men. But well, always drunkenly, like, sort of thing. And it's just like, but it doesn't change their identity or how they see their sexuality. So.
And what about like having a community? Does that sort of like reinforce your identity? Like, do you feel like being around similar people sort of like gives you a sense of belonging?
I think so.
Yeah, I feel like we both said, it's easier, well, especially at university, especially being a young person, to find people who are similar, like who are like-minded or of a similar sexuality.
Sure.
And I think I do sort of take it for granted, I think. And it's trying to imagine that if it didn't exist, then I would feel quite uncomfortable because I wouldn't be so open about my bisexuality at all if it was a rare thing, obviously. So I think it is helpful. But like I said, sometimes even in the village or spaces which are supposed to be LGBT, I do feel a little uncomfortable sometimes, mainly when it's mainly guys in there. And because you do get a little bit of what's the word? Misogyny, even within
even my gay men, even by my gay guy friends.
There was something from, I think it's from Ian Forster's Maurice.
From what?
Ian Forster wrote Howard's End.
No idea what words you're saying.
No, you're not. I was a lit student. There's an author, Ian Forster, who wrote a book called Maurice, which wasn't published at the time. He's an early 20th century author. It's published in the 70s posthumously. And he wrote in that, I think, that homosexuality is the highest form of misogyny because you're excluding, between men, because you're excluding women completely from your sort of domain. And it's a sign that you don't value them in a way.
Wow.
Which is true of some, not all, but some, a small percentage, I would say, some gay guys just, a lot of them aren't keen on lesbians. A lot.
You hear a lot of jokes.
A lot of jokes about vaginas and stuff. Like, obviously not all women, not all lesbians.
Vaginas. Not all. I hate that phrase, but
But among my gay friends and stuff, it makes me very uncomfortable and kind of ashamed when they talk about vaginas in a bad way. They call them a McBurger or something.
Oh God.
Clam bake, loads of and even things on RuPaul's Drag Race where if you look like a woman, you're fishing.
And
things like that, and it's just just leave us alone. Just love who you love, what genitalia you like, blah blah blah, but leave my vagina alone.
But then again, like, obviously it's not excusable, but like, we are living in a culture of like misogyny, so obviously they do pick up on that.
Yeah.
You know, one of my gay friends, he's actually my colleague, my boss, because I teach pole dancing. He's a pole dancer, but he obviously sees a lot of like nip slips and vagina slips and stuff, because pole dancing unfortunately does that, because you have to wear small clothes. But he said the other day, just like, I hate boobs. I just hate boobs. I was like, okay. But I guess it's easier for us because we are bi, so we're happy with all genitalia.
And also lesbians kind of do it as well. Like,
my ex is just like, penises are horrible, they're just disgusting. She's a bit of a man hater anyway. So.
Before you came out and then after you came out, did you notice like a change in your like positivity? Like, was it sort of like, did it make you feel more like whole rather than like sort of you're hiding part of yourself? Like you had sort of multiple versions of yourself around like certain people.
I came out like so early that I didn't really have a chance to like feel shame for it in a way. And in a way like that was kind of a mistake, because it meant that I was like thrown into not really understanding who I was, but still kind of being held accountable for it and for all my decisions. But yeah, because of that, I kind of didn't really feel too much shame about it, and I was out to a lot of people. But it was like, I think the period from when I realised and when I came out was probably about a week. That week was quite a shameful period. It was kind of, I was like praying, it was back when I still believed in God, I was like praying to God that I wouldn't have to like women. It was weird, it was gross. And then kind of because I had another friend who'd already come out as bi, it made it a lot easier, and I don't think I would have felt as good coming out or as like positive about my identity if I didn't have her. That was my girlfriend as well. My first girlfriend.
I think I'm glad that I said it, because I wanted to say it to someone, but I didn't feel the need to say it to everyone, sort of thing. And like I said, my mum's reaction wasn't bad, but it wasn't like necessarily positive. I think I have a feeling that at the time she didn't say it was just a phase. I think she just sort of like didn't say it, and it was like quite non-committal about it. Just like okay. And then afterwards it was when she told me it was a phase. But yeah, no, it felt like good that I just said it to somebody, because I guess it didn't matter who, but like I was actually, speaking of the God thing, I was a Christian until like age 16. So weirdly, that seems to, you know what, like again a bit of a tangent, but I'm seeing a girl who's not obviously, but also bi, and she was a Christian until about that age as well, but like really hardcore, and like she would do like, she would see a guy, and they would like, if they did stuff, they would have to pray to God afterwards to like rid them from their sins. So I don't know, like it's weird, you sort of go from one end to the other, but like obviously I came out whilst I was still a Christian, but I'm pretty sure that's probably why I didn't come out to any of my friends, actually, because mostly at the time most of my friends were Christians, because I went to a Christian school.
Like a sort of conflict between two parts of identity in a way.
Because it was like an evangelical Christian school. It wasn't even like a C of E sort of thing where it doesn't no one really practices the religion. This is like proper hardcore, speaking in tongues sort of thing.
Oh my
god. But then I went to a different sixth form, and that's what sort of like made me realise that I was just following a weird crowd out of pressure, because everyone was evangelical Christian, so I was too. But yeah, that's probably why I didn't come out, because they weren't a church that was keen on homosexuality or anything like that. I mean, my nana was very uncomfortable when I was with a woman.
Oh really?
Yeah, because she's a Christian. She said she's like, I still love you, but no. So yeah.
I have a friend now who's she's like quite hardcore Christian, like she goes to church every Sunday, like even if she's gone out the night before.
Oh god.
There's a meme about it, it's great. And she's just come out as bi as well. And that was kind of, I don't know, it made me like view religion in a different way as well, because I do kind of struggle where I struggle with religion, partly because of like being like not straight. So meeting people who are bisexual or gay or trans or whatever, who, you know, have a religion, have a faith, is quite kind of different.
Yeah.
I struggle to, what's the word?
like
conflate
marry
the
together.
two.
Yeah.
I know a girl who I went to school with who is, I think she's still a Christian, but she's a lesbian. But I mean, my partner, he has an uncle who's a priest, and but he's like, their family's quite like alternative, like hippie-ish, I guess. Maybe not hippie-ish, but like, you know, pretty liberal.
Yeah.
And he does like on Christmas, like a couple of days before Christmas, he went to the pub, this vicar guy, my partner's uncle, and did like a talk sermon sort of thing for like all people who don't fit into the traditional sort of church boundaries, so like people who are like goth, people who are bi, people who are gay. He keeps saying goth. He keeps saying goth, and whenever he tells his stories, people's like, so it's like gothic people. It's like okay, but like it is, I guess, because like, you know, if you saw like a goth, like fully fledged walk into church.
Did you read that article about how goths are oppressed? It's the funniest thing.
What? Oh no.
Parody.
I thought it was real.
Okay.
There's like a community. No, I don't think it is.
Okay, no, I've not read it. But yeah, no. So he did
Kind of getting on a complete tangent.
I know, sorry. But yeah, no. So he did a thing, like a Christmas thing for all these people who'd be necessarily welcome at a traditional church setting, and they'd feel a bit excluded. But yeah.
Do you guys watch Shameless? Because right now there's.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, Shameless, it's a great show. But currently,
Sorry.
there's a gay guy, and he's basically leading people away from like conversion therapy and stuff into like the Church of Gay Jesus. So that's kind of like made me think about like religion and like being LGBT in a different way as well. To the point where I am actually going to go to church at some point with my friend who's the bi one. Because I've kind of like just rejected it because it didn't fit with my identity for a while. I'm not necessarily like going to be religious, but
That's how you interpret it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in Shameless, there's a bit where they're kind of saying the same verse, but they're like interpreting. Is it verse? I don't know how the Bible works.
Yeah, it's a verse.
They're interpreting it in different ways. So then there's like the verses which are like, oh, you must love your neighbour, and then there's the ones which is like, it's a sin to.
Yeah. Well, there's more. I can't remember the exact quote. There's more passages in the Bible relating to something about what you're supposed to, how you're supposed to cook something, or how you're supposed to wear something, than there are about not sleeping with like men.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
And there's
supposed
nothing to do
eat
with
shellfish
sleeping.
or something, or wear polyester blends.
Polyester?
Is it polyester?
No, they didn't.
Is it
polyester?
Do they not have polyester?
No. They had that's a man-made material. You're not supposed to wear mixed. That's it. You're not supposed to wear mixed material.
Cottons.
Yeah.
Mixed
Yeah,
cottons.
that's what the Mormons. They wear just like the cotton
Probably.
things.
The Mormons are in.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh god,
My
imagine
aunt's
being
a
a bi-Mormon.
Really?
Bi-Mormon,
Gay
yeah.
Mormon.
It's my great aunt, and her sister is actually lesbian. My great aunt, what's her name? Sheila. My great aunt Sheila. She's actually poly as well.
Polyester.
I'm never gonna get that done. So yeah, like that's kind of, I grew up knowing about my great aunt being gay, and all my family around me were kind of like, they didn't accept it. They just, rather than like be against it, they ignored it.
I really.
So she'd been living with the same woman who she was in a relationship with for like 30 years, and everyone still kind of called them friends and stuff, and especially my great aunt who was a Mormon, kind of did that.
Sorry, I thought you were saying that the great aunt who was a Mormon was a lesbian.
Yeah,
and I was
I'm
like,
like, she's a Mormon, she's lesbian, and she's poly. I was like, mind blown.
No, there's one who's Mormon.
okay.
And then
right.
one who's
That's extreme. Are they actually sisters?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
Wow.
extreme.
yeah.
Okay.
Do they like talk? They like.
Yeah, they're good friends.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Because they just completely ignore that she's a lesbian.
Yeah.
Okay, so not so cool, but still cool.
But still
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have gone off on a tangent now. Really sorry.
Are there any more topics or questions?
I don't think so. I had one I could top of my head, but I can't remember it. But I feel like you guys like answered like most questions. So.
We were just like
Talking.
speaking at
Yeah,
you.
this is just
I like talking about myself.
yeah, me too.
And also like it's nice to talk about like being bi.
Yeah.
It was mostly, like male stuff. And I think I actually like took a photo of the only like lesbian thing there. And it was like Sappho like having sex with a woman. It was a good exhibit. But
I went to something at the People's History Museum. I can't remember what it was, but that was pretty good. I went with my friend who's lesbian, my ex actually. But she's still like my friend. She wasn't.
That's another thing about like gay and bi women. We're always friends with our
exes. She's still like my best friend, and I like we were together for years, and I was a horrible person, but we still managed to be friends after that. So but no.
So was that one good? I've been meaning to like go to People's History Museum.
Yeah, no, it's not there anymore. It was a while ago, but it was good. There was a lot more like
I think they're doing another one. I saw an event on
like
Facebook.
on the 8th of Feb or something.
Okay, we should go.
Oh, is that
reunion?
There is a thing.
There's a female one as well. There's like Wonder Women, celebrating women, and then there's a kind of there's an LGBT one as well.
I think it's like a one-day like exhibition.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Sure. 8th of Feb. What day is that? It's a Friday, right? It is. I think I'm working.
No idea.
I think I'm working as usual.
Like how do you feel about representation of women who like women in the media? Like any sort of notable examples that sort of like made you feel more
They kill them off all the time. So I was devastated in The 100 when Laxa died. Sorry, spoiler. What
things I watched on TV is quite limited in terms of like lesbian or like bisexual.
I seek out things.
I know, my ex, she just has seen everything, but that's sort of true of like just TV and films in general. She's a big like film nerd. But she's like sorted it out and she's seen like pretty much everything. She introduced me to the L Word.
I tried to watch the L Word, but I didn't like it.
It takes a while to get into it.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get into
it. No, it's not like
you're like, ooh.
It's not an amazing show. Like, but like everyone's hot, which is nice. But it was because it was so early in terms of like representation. So it's sort of like a not a mecca, but like a.
I'm sure there are some like valid critiques of like the kind of representation in the L Word as well. Like there is definitely a kind of mould that TV and movie lesbians like have to fit, where you're like white, you're like quite femme, or you're like super butch. And
they were all pretty privileged as well because they're living in LA, I think.
Yeah,
they were like.
They were
did you ever
all
watch
very
Lip
white.
Service?
Yeah, they were. Yeah. Although one of them, they were mixed race, but the person, what was weird actually, there was these two sisters. Kit is mixed race. She's actually mixed race, but the woman who plays. Yeah, she is, but the woman who played her sister is mixed race, like as in black, white. She's Hispanic in real life. It's like, why? Why would you do that? And it's I feel like they shouldn't have cast that.
They made it like a whole thing, like her having like a black identity.
Yeah.
Like that was like.
Yeah, but in real life, I think she's not.
I'm nodding like I know the storyline.
No. But that was just that's again completely irrelevant, but also interesting.
When I was like first dating my girlfriend, there was like obviously like Skins, Naomi and Emily, which is also kind of cookie cutter kind of version. Yeah. But also, who was it that was bi? I think it was Naomi that was bi.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but she was kind of like demonised for it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And then what was the other show? Did you ever watch Sugar Rush?
No, again, I've not.
That was one of my favourite shows.
It came out on like Channel 4, like the Pride season, like they did a box set, and you could like watch it all.
I used to watch it in private.
Honestly, so good.
Yeah, no, I think that's one of Jenny's favourites. Like, did I ever show it to you? Like, no. Oh, you need to watch it. And now I do, but then I just need to also like watch all loads of other things and go outside sometimes.
I'm trying to think of other things. I mean, I always just kind of like headcanon situations and characters as being bi or gay anyway.
Yeah.
Like even like Taylor Swift. Like I've heard things that she's like she was dating what's her name? Diane Agron, Quinn from Glee.
Oh yeah.
There's rumours about it. So in my mind, whenever I listen to her songs now, I'm just like, that's gay.
Yeah, you can sort of, if you're looking for it, you can sort of get that sort of thing. But yeah, no, I think you do sort of get either really femme representations or like sort of really butch representations in the media, or like again like stereotypes, not necessarily in film, but perhaps in like comedy and things when people are talking about people who are gay.
Sure.
Especially like because people always sort of go for the sort of very butch representation of all lesbians and like but yeah, I don't
Like
know.
it could be better, but I'm really glad that there is some. But that shouldn't be. We shouldn't just like accept that.
Yeah, and you shouldn't like have to just like seek it out. It should
Yeah.
be that.
Well, we had like the Doctor Who with Bill being. Do either of you watch Doctor Who?
I watched Doctor
I
Who.
used to.
But you know that
I
the
stopped
latest
watching
companion,
after
Bill,
David
she's
Tennant.
gay.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Is she gay?
Have you not watched it?
No.
Oh yeah,
I
so the
didn't
latest
watch
companion, she's gay and she's open about it, and she's like, and so occasionally if a guy's like in the show is like coming on to her, she's like, not my type, mate. I like girls. So, she's not super butch either. She's not. She's not femme, but she's sort of in between it, which is quite nice. She's not my favourite companion, but that's nothing to do with her sexuality. But like, it was kind of cool that they've done that, and I don't.
My favourite companion's Donna, to be fair.
Oh, someone else said that to me the other night. But yeah, no, I love Rose. Anyway, again, tangent.
Oh, yeah, right.
But yeah. But yeah, so that's a mainstream television show that's openly showing, and that's a kids' TV show as well.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
I bet people are up in arms about that though, like some parents.
Probably. I've not read. I don't tend to read much like sort of media around like popular media stuff unless it's in the Metro or online. I don't take a newspaper as it were. I should, but I get the thing online. So I've not read any much particular. I haven't sought out any backlash, but I'm sure there is some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's enough to like having a female doctor.
Oh yeah, I've read backlash
every
about that. Yeah. Oh yeah, the same thing with, this is a weird example, but you know when they did the all-female Ghostbusters?
Oh yeah.
There was so much backlash for that because they were all female, but unfortunately the film wasn't great, but that's not because of the
It's a great film.
No, it wasn't amazing, but I know that what it was the script wasn't great and the editing was poor.
Okay.
It could have been a much better film, but it's nothing to do with the acting or the fact that they were female. It was just really poor editing. But no, what's the face from SNL? She was really held that. Kate McKinnon. She really held that together, I think. But I felt it could have been better, but it wasn't anything to do with the.
Yeah.
And also she's gay, so that's for representation.
Yeah.
But she wasn't gay in the film.
Well, and none of them really had any sexual experiences. Ghostbusters as well.
True.
Yeah.
Very sexy.
So she could have been. She's yeah.
You probably knew that.
Okay, sorry, my memory's terrible. I wish my boyfriend was bi. But yeah. Sorry, just let me put my ketchup on and then I'll be with you.
Like, obviously they do, like, exist.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe
I
it's
think it's harder for them
out.
to come out as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, because it's like, you quite often...
I'm not really sure why,
I
but...
think you just get labelled as gay. Like,
Yeah. Again,
Whereas it's like the opposite with
obsession of
bi
men.
women. Yeah,
Yeah.
in
it's around men.
society. Yeah. Everyone loves them.
That was me.
But yeah, no, like I wish my boyfriend was bi. I know that's a silly thing to wish.
It would make like your life a bit easier in terms
It
of
would,
like,
yeah. Well, he's all right at like. Are we filming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I might not say that though, because it's not about me. It's about him. So I will.
No, I mean, it's fine. Talk about it.
Oh no, I don't know if you'd be happy sharing. That's
Oh,
that's all.
no,
Yeah.
no.
So because it's not my information to share, so I'll
No,
just keep
fair
it to
enough.
myself.
Yeah.
I might tell you after when we're not rolling. But yeah. But yeah, no, I can't think of anyone I know who's male and who is bi.
I know a couple, but it was kind of even assumed by me as well that they were gay.
Right.
And then I was like surprised when they came out as bi. So I'm currently doing like a volunteer role with what they called Just Like Us. They're like an LGBT charity.
Yeah.
And with that we have to like go into schools and give talks about growing up LGBT, very similar to this. And what it means to be LGBT and like how we can stop discrimination. And yeah, the only reason I found out a couple of my friends, male friends, were bi was through that.
I really.
Because it was like part of their presentation.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because they weren't like comfortable sharing it with their friends, I guess.
Yeah.
But they were comfortable
Yeah.
sharing it kind of abstractly to a group of teenagers, which is strange.
Well, no, it's sort of like it's, even though you're telling more people, it's weirdly like less intimate. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like
No, I
don't
think
know.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But, I had something I was going to say. Oh no, this is just sort of for your benefit. My friend, did you ever meet Maisie?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a lot of charity work for the LGBT community, but I can't remember who she does it for. But yeah, no, no, it might be just the LGBT Foundation
Oh, okay.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my friend actually works there as well.
Oh, really?
I say
Jess
friend,
used to work
she said,
there,
I know.
didn't she? Did you? I don't know if she mentioned
sorry.
it. Yeah, Jess used to
she
work
did,
at
yeah,
LGBT
now she's
Foundation.
in volunteering in Southwood, I think. Yeah.
Any more
I don't have any more questions.
Is there anything that we've not like
covered?
covered that you want us to?
I guess like one thing, like